it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm getting into my favorite perfumes of 2021. Now these are not all new releases. Actually, the majority of them are not new releases this year, but I dove hard into fragrances this year, and so every perfume is pretty much new to me. And so this is a collection of full-size purchases that I absolutely love. And then I will mention some runner-ups, things that are a lot of people like. Some of them are not as popular, but the majority you've probably heard of, so I will save those for last. But first, I want to get into my favorites of the year. Just want to talk about my discovery journey, my fragrance discovery journey. I'm going to throw in a picture of my fragrance drawer. Yes, I have a dedicated drawer for fragrance, so to keep them out of the light. It's just really convenient that they're all in one place. It is a pretty heavy drawer, and the picture I'm showing you here is mostly of the samples, but this is where I keep the rest of my perfumes as well. It looks kind of empty. That's because all these full-size bottles are out of the drawer right now. But I wanted to show you all the samples that I've tried this year. It's pretty insane, and I don't really recommend that you do that because a lot of the samples that I thought were gonna last actually dried up because I decanted them into a mister bottle to save money, and then the empty bottles that I bought off Amazon were not great, and the product evaporated, and now I can't smell a lot of those fragrances. So kind of a big waste of money, like a huge waste of money. Because, you know, buying samples online of, very particular niche brands, they're a lot of money to buy samples online. So yeah, but I did discover like some favorites from sampling all those and just get a sense of my nose. I did a whole series during the summer kind of ranking fragrance categories. If you guys want to check that out. And that's really where a lot of those perfumes went to, is like doing those ranking videos and kind of discovering which categories I like. I didn't do a video on every fragrance. Some of those samples I never did a video on. But I really enjoyed smelling them and just getting a sense of what these different brands are like that I keep hearing about, reading about, watching videos on. So it is really fun, and if I don't suggest, like if you want to explore a lot of brands, samples are the cheaper route for sure, but ordering 10 at a time, it's really overwhelming. So yeah, let's just get into it. First of all, the fragrance community and world is very interesting. I feel like fragrance really can kind of define you, and it gives you a personal sense of style. It can really give you a lot of confidence. So I've really been enjoying exploring fragrances. Prior to this, I had definitely less than 10 fragrances in my lifetime, and I'm over 30. I never really got into fragrances just because I felt like they're so expensive, and then like you have to be in the store to smell them, and then sometimes when you spray them they smell good and then later on they don't. I just felt like it seemed like kind of a lot of money, and then you don't smell it at the end of the day. Like, what's the point almost? But I knew that my limited sense of fragrances was probably not the reality because I know a lot of people love it. So let's get into my favorites of the year. Let's start with things on the lighter side. How about that? Now this is definitely not new. Escentric molecules. I picked out Escentric 04. Now this is not the one note fragrance. This is like a combination of notes, and this is very citrusy, but also just really fresh, and it's got kind of an edge to it, like a green edge. I'm gonna throw up the notes for each fragrance because I'm not gonna look up. It's just gonna be faster if you guys can read the notes on the screen rather than me reading them all to you. But this is a brand that I discovered, and the molecule 01 that's very popular, I would consider getting a small bottle like this of to layer with every single fragrance, just because it can boost fragrances. This one is very light and citrusy and really beautiful, but it's not one I reach for super often. I think of it more as like a fresh layer. And I think you have to think of this brand in sort of that layering kind of aspect, that you don't necessarily have to wear these on their own to get the most out of them. You can really use them with a lot of different fragrances. Another freshie, but a little bit more aquatic and probably not for everyone. This is the Tom Ford Oud Minerale. I got this at Ulta this year. I was very excited to see it there. A 30 ml. Perfect size for me. I love small fragrances because when I have this many, I feel like it's wasteful to have a giant bottle of each one. This is going to get very overwhelming very fast. I'm just going to spray the air. I don't want to spray my skin. Oh yeah. I think the reason I like this is because it reminds me of a lot of fragrances that I smelled growing up, and Aqua de Joa I really liked. I had like 2 bottles of that. Super fresh, aquatic fragrances. This one has a little bit more of a sea-like quality, so it's very aquatic. It does have a little bit of wood, a little bit of oud in there. I think it's probably my most masculine fragrance of the bunch. Definitely unisex. I wouldn't say it's masculine, but it's definitely in the middle. Not super feminine, but very clean if you like aquatics. I definitely recommend checking this out if you haven't. It's not a new fragrance at all. I think this might be a bit of a polarizing, whether you like aquatic or not. It's not a category that is for everyone. It's almost like, I like oysters, and if you kind of like that gritty kind of smell, this isn't gritty, but we're getting into that side of aquatic here, and I like it a lot. Another one on the light side, this is a Eau de Toilette from Loewe. I actually got this in November, so not very long ago. This is a summer fragrance for sure. It is coconutty, but it is green, and it's also is very much fig-like to me, even though that is not in the notes. And I think this is an incredible find. It's not super expensive. I think it's $70, but I think I got this for $50 on sale, and love the bottle. It's like this Rastafarian red, yellow, green. It's like a beachy fragrance, but very different. A lot of people have that discovered this. This is Paula's Ibiza. A lot of people that discover it love it. I consider this unisex, but because it's more tropically beachy, you might think it's feminine, but I think anyone can wear it if you appreciate this scent. If you like fig, I think you'll really like it, but it's also green. So it's beachy, but green, but figgy. So it's different, and I think it's really well done. My only thought is it's an Eau de Toilette, which makes it affordable. I wish it lasted a little bit longer. But for what it is, I think it's an excellent summertime fragrance. I really enjoy it. And I love the packaging. I think it's really cute. And it has the Loewe sort of logo, monogram on the top here. And this is, I think, the only size they have. 50 mils. Okay, on to the lighter side of things, but not too light. I think overall this brand kind of tends to be on the not light side, but more of like, they're not super long lasting to me. These is from Etat Libre de Orange. I have 4 fragrances from this brand, and these are my top 2 right now. I really enjoy these a lot, and as I said, they don't last all day on me, but I really enjoy them. This is I Am Trash, and this is kind of a fruity, sweet smelling surprise. And it's got apple in it. I can't smell it right now. Ah, there, I can smell it. This is a different one for me. I think I tried like the whole discovery set from this brand, and I just can't get enough. I really enjoy a lot of these. I also find these to be somewhat layerable. You can mix and match. You or Someone Like You is like a very freshy, air-like scent that I just kind of kept going back to. There's something really addicting about this one. I find it somewhat water-like. I'll have to put on the notes, but there's something about this that is familiar that I just really love. It's clean, but it's got an edge. This is You or Someone Like You. A standout to me. This one has a different sort of bullseye. It's got like an eyeball kind of look. This is like the normal logo. I really enjoy this one. So that's kind of the cleaner, safer kind of sense. Let's get on to something a little bit more fun. So gourmand, like whenever I get in the car, my boyfriend says, "Are you wearing Lay's?" I smell chocolate. This is a coffee fragrance. This is from Akro Awake. He thinks it smells like chocolate. He doesn't have a very good working nose. I'll just say that. But I can see why he thinks this is chocolate, and this is a niche kind of fragrance. So this is a pretty strong coffee smell. I love it, especially in the wintertime. I've been using this one quite a bit. I think it's incredible. It's strong. It's long wearing. I get whiffs of it throughout the day. I'm a huge fan. My second favorite from this brand is probably Smoke. If I were to pick up another one, I would pick up Smoke. I layer this one, believe it or not, with Penhaligon's Changing Constance. This is also a sweet, gourmandy kind of florally scent, and I like pairing these two together. This is a pretty expensive bottle. I think probably one of my most expensive bottles that I picked up this year. I think this was almost retails, I want to say close to $300 normally, but I didn't pay that much. I got it from Selfridges, so it was a lot bit less. I love the bottle. This is from their like animal range. Changing Constance is nice. I've heard this isn't like the most unique scent, but I find it to be pretty gourmand and sweet, but not overly sweet because it has some floral in it. It's got some caramely notes, and that's why I pair it with coffee. So that gourmand is like that sweet kind of cookie bakery caramelish kind of a scent, but it's not just that. So it's a very wearable gourmand if you don't want to be like overwhelmingly sweet, and it's got some spices to it. I think it's also perfect for this time of year if you want like a little bit of a sweet edge, some spice, but it's not like super strong oudy kind of a thing going on. So I find it's feminine but not overly. I think you could definitely wear this if you enjoy like a gourmand scent. Anyone can wear it. It's not overly floral or anything like that. And look at this head. How cool is that? So I like to pair these together. Some of you might think that's a bit much. I don't really care. I like it. So these I got at my trip to New York this summer. I went to the Frederic Malle boutique in New York. It was an amazing experience. I was the only one in there. The woman that helped me spoke French. She gave me lots of samples. She was super sweet. I got to try the, oh my gosh, I'm blanking, the new green fragrance this year. I got to try it before it came out. It was a fun experience. Anyways, I picked up I'm saying this wrong, Liz Mediterranee. This is Lily, I believe, Mediterranean Lily. This is a super white floral. I think they do a lot of white florals from Frederic Malle very well. This is the Edward Fletcher, is the fragrancer, perfumer that created this. I just think it's such a realistic flower scent. It smells like real flowers to me, and I love it. So this bottle may look a little bit strange, and that's because it is a 30 ml 1 ounce, a little bit smaller, but still sleek. Really nice black bottle. It has a magnetic lid. I really love the scent of Liz, but I got a lot of samples, and I discovered some other favorites. Carnal Flower is another beautiful white flower, probably more popular than the Lily, but really nice. En Passant, I also really love, and Magnolia. I think you can't go wrong with any of these, to be honest, if you like that sort of white florally kind of vibe. You're gonna love all of those, to be honest. I'm really happy I discovered Fragrant Mall. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite brands that I feel like you just can't go wrong. Another one I picked up in New York, and I tried this in the boutique and I bought it online once I came home. This is the Kyoto limited edition fragrance from Diptyque, and this one really surprised me because it smells so unique to me. My only wish is that it would last longer. It's an Eau de Toilette. It's kind of pricey for an Eau de Toilette, but it's a beautiful bottle, and you know, you get a lot of juice, 100 mils. What I like about this one is it kind of reminds me of tea, but it's got like a beet note in it that I really enjoy. Like, it's really a different fragrance for me, and there's something about it that I just really love. It's incredible fragrance. I've seen it online still for a long time, for several months, so you can still pick it up if you get the chance. Try to go to a store, smell it out. Otherwise, I wouldn't. I think this is a really good blind buy. I think a lot of people would like it. I think it's fairly unisex. It's not overly sweet or anything like that. And it's got a green vegetal, really strong base with that beet. I think it's really good. I'm really glad I picked this one up and added it to my collection. This is like my first full-size Diptyque fragrance. All right, so those are really my favorites of the year, my standouts, but I do have some things in my collection. Some of them are new to me this year. Some of them have been in my collection for a couple years, but a lot of these things are new because I really just exploded on the fragrance train like crazy, and I was like looking for deals, and once I saw good deals, like, I'm gonna pick it up. I'm just gonna pick it up. All right, so actually I forgot one to mention, a sample that I wanted to mention as my favorites that I haven't picked up the full size. Roja Parfums Creation E. I did a little discovery set of like their more feminine leading fragrances. This one was a surprise. Like, I didn't expect to like this one because I thought I would like the more popular 51 fragrance. But Creation E, I really like the most out of all of them. This is a really feminine fragrance. A lot of Roja is very feminine leaning, I'll say. Kind of powdery, but really beautiful. I really like this one. I would definitely consider picking up a large size. It's an incredible fragrance. Sorry, going on to my like honorable mentions that are in my collection. So these two fragrances are from Tom Ford. I've had them in my collection a bit longer. So yes, I got into fragrances this year, but I picked these up prior to this year. And I think Tobacco Vanille has been in my collection for the longest time, and I've only used this much. I can't believe that. This is a 10 ml size, and it is very strong, and I think it's probably the best Tom Ford fragrance that I've smelled. Tobacco Vanille comes in this beautiful travel case. It is very gourmand. It is very strong, incredible unisex. I love it. This one is Lost Cherry. This was kind of a blind buy. I didn't smell it before I bought this. I like it. I would say that it's in the honorable mention category. I picked this both of these are in the honorable mention category because they're not, you guys know about these, but I just want to tell you my thoughts on them. Lost Cherry to me is a little bit overrated. I think if you like this kind of baked cherry gourmand scent, like a little baked cherry dessert, you're gonna like it. You're gonna appreciate it. You might have nostalgic feelings about it. To me, it's a little bit artificial. It's a lot of it artificial smelling. So it's not like the best thing ever to me, but it is iconic. I picked it up, no regrets, but it's not like the best smelling thing ever. This is one I picked up this year. Very iconic fragrance. I sprayed this recently. I don't know if I like this in the warmer months more. I think it just attached to my clothes, and it just turned a little bit too sharp on me recently, so I was a little bit turned off by it recently, but this is a very girly, very feminine leaning scent from Parfums de Malle Delina. I think it's the best of the scents I've smelled from them so far. I like it. I got this little size of it, and I think this is probably going to be good enough for me. But it's a joy, something I wear like going to a wedding, and I just love the scent of it. But in these colder months, I don't know, I'm not liking it quite as much right now. Jasmin 17 is another Labo fragrance that I have in my collection. I have Santal 33. I didn't put in this video because you guys heard about that one already. This one I picked up in New York on my trip. I was planning to get another one, but I landed on this one. I think it's nice. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. It does feel very one note though. It's not very complicated. It's very white floral. Even though it's jasmine, it's like a very strong floral scent. I really like it. I feel like though I might take me a long time to get through it, to be honest, and it's not like the most exciting or crisp floral scent, but I do enjoy it from time to time. This one is another Frederic Malle, my second kind of larger size purchase. I picked up Portrait of a Lady just because it's a classic, and I picked up this like travel size container of it, and I had tried a couple samples before I bought this, and it was at a reasonable price, so I picked it up. And I just wanted it in my collection, to be honest. But it is very strong, and it's complex. It's beautiful. It's a little bit old lady smelling to me, to be honest. I might probably change my mind as I get older, but I feel like this is a very particular occasion fragrance, very much nighttime. And maybe for like a special event. It is very rich, sophisticated. I enjoy it though. It's not like an everyday wear for me at all. That's why it's in the honorable mention, but you know, love the packaging. I love what the brand's about. This is Dominique Ropion is the perfumer. This guy I picked up recently 35 mils of the Maison Francis Kurkdijan Baccarat Rouge. This is the Eau de Parfum, not the extrait. So this is the medium. This is the lighter version. I've tried the samples of this before, but having the full bottle is so nice. This is such a nice fragrance. I really enjoy it. When I first got it, I really sprayed a lot of it that first week I got it because it's so good. I think it's the saffron or something in it that it's really addicting. You want to wear it all the time. It's a unisex scent, which I think I love about it because it works both ways. Men and women love it. The bottle is sexy. I even like the sexiness of the small size. It's a good fragrance. It could have gone in my favorites, but so many people talk about it. I just wanted to put it in my honorable mentions. But that's kind of it for my fragrances of the year, and I could have talked about more of my samples. There was a lot of really great discoveries that I'm like, ooh, I need to try more from this brand. But I didn't want to go down that road. I'm just sticking with the full size overall, and hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what were your favorites from this year. What brands do I need to try? Please let me know. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.